I'm here today with Lonnie Williams III. Lonnie is a gentleman who identifies as conservative. He is a very hard worker from what I have gotten to know about him. Lonnie, why don't you just share with us what you would like for us to know about you?
Thank you for the opportunity to be on your podcast today. I really appreciate the opportunity, Bob.
You're welcome. I appreciate your willingness to share with us.
So I haven't always been conservative. I would never consider myself a liberal, but there was one point in my life where I was apolitical. I didn't really have a bias one way or another. Not until 2008 when I started when I was a truck driver. And being a driver, you're on the road the whole 10 hours a day, and you got a lot of time to listen to the radio. And the person who was training me to be a truck driver, he was a conservative, and he used to always play Rush Limbaugh and Sean Hannity. So by riding along with him and listening to Rush Limbaugh, mainly, that's what got me interested in politics. He always broke things down very you know very simplified things and made conservatism appealing to the masses, in my opinion.
You are a high school geometry teacher, is that correct?
Yes, I'm a high school geometry long-term substitute teacher, and I've been working in education for 8 years. I do a number of things actually. I work in education. I have a credit repair business called Jericho Credit. I like to stay busy. One of the main reasons I like to stay busy is that going back to when I was a truck driver, I got hurt on my first day on the job driving an 18-wheeler tanker truck. This was towards the end of 2008 in November, and I was paralyzed from the neck down. And they tried to get me to do Social Security, but I wasn't working that wasn't I didn't have any years of work up under my belt. I was only 25 at the time, and I didn't want to limit myself to however much money they was going to give me, for Social Security. I wanted to always believed in hard work, and there's no limits to what one can achieve, if you had a desire to do so, especially in America. That's how I always felt, and that's how I still feel today. With that in mind, that kind of made me want to think outside the box because I'm not paralyzed anymore, but I can't like do certain things that I can't do that maybe your average day every American can do. So it forced me to become more business savvy to create more opportunities for myself.
Are you open in your surroundings about your political conservatism?
Not as much as I used to be, only because I don't want to annihilate half of the country. Because mainly I'm on social media to promote my business.
Right.
So, but like someone asked me, like, oh, you can't see now because I don't got the camera on, but I got on my Trump Pence 2020 shirt. Always
Oh.
sleep in this shirt. Always clean it first. But always this will always wear to bed.
Well, I do understand that you have a business to run and you don't want to alienate half of the country. I can certainly appreciate that.
Yeah, I'm not biting.
I asked Lonnie if in his credit repair business he is passing along his belief in self-reliance.
You're exactly right. When I always tell my clients, to me, credit repair is not about just helping you fix your credit by removing negative items from your credit report. It's about helping you change your behavior, change your thought process on the ideal of credit. It's a threefold process. You want to get rid of the bad, but you also want to increase the good, while at the same time you want to change your thought process about finances.
Well, that sounds relatively conservative to me, Lonnie.
I like to think so. And, the name of my company is based off of story in the Bible. My company's called, of course, Jericho Credit LLC, and it's based off the story of the walls of Jericho.
Yes.
Our motto is blowing away bad credit. You remember how the children of Israel walked around the city 7 times? and then they blow the trumpets, what they call the shofar, and then the walls came down. Kind of use that analogy for bad credit.
I'm very familiar with that story, and I like that you chose a biblical reference to build your business. Lonnie, what have you dealt with in your daily life? Are you of the opinion that conservatism equates to racism?
No, definitely not. I think the problem with the perspective of racism all falls down to the general population ignorance when it comes to history. For example, the Republican Party was a party based on the idea of abolishing slavery. It was Abraham Lincoln, a Republican, who signed the law to eliminate slavery. Even prominent African American leaders, such as the late Dr. Martin Luther King, if I'm not mistaken, he was a registered Republican. I don't believe America has a what's the word, systemic racism problem. I think America has a systemic misinformation problem. I think that's what's going on. That's the problem that's kind of sowing its way into the country. Because you look at the KKK. The KKK was mainly Democrat. It was mainly Democrats who was in the KKK. It wasn't Republicans. I don't know everyone that was in the KKK, so I can't say 100% all of them was Democrats and none of them was Republicans, but I can fairly say with confidence that at least 99% of them were Democrats. And based on that, I would send it the Democratic ideology body of people. You have like during the civil rights movements, you had senators and lawmakers who were Democrats who was fighting the civil law, the civil rights legislation that was trying to be passed in the 1960s. It wasn't Republicans; it was Democrats. It's all about misinformation, or Donald Trump used to always say, fake news.
Tell me a little bit about being a substitute geometry teacher. You said you've been doing that for 8 years.
Oh yes,
How do you like working with young minds?
I like it a lot, especially the community I get to work in. It's predominantly Hispanic origin.
Yes.
So and you'd be surprised. Um, the media always portrays that like the Hispanic votes are automatically Democrat, especially African American votes. But a lot of Hispanics are they may not what's the word? They may not identify as conservative, but they have conservative values. They believe in strong family. They believe in having both parents in the home. A lot of times you find them at church on Sundays. Things like that. And I like helping. I really like helping. You say young minds achieve success, not just in the classroom, but in life in general. It's all about you know helping inspire others to do more.
I appreciate that. What age group do you work with?
Normally, ninth and tenth and 11th graders.
Okay.
So that'd be like 15, 16-year-olds.
As much as I struggled with it, I admire your ability to be able to teach it.
Thank you.
I really appreciate your taking the time on a Saturday evening to visit with me. Tell me right now how people can find your credit repair business.
Jericho Credit, and get in touch with me or find more about my company. You just type in JerichoCredit.com, and that's JERICHO credit.com.
Is there anything finally that you would like to share with my audience that I have not asked you about? Any perceptions, any beliefs, anything I haven't covered with you that you'd like to share?
Yes, I like to say to your audience, never believe anything 100%, whether it's from a conservative standpoint or liberal standpoint. Always do your own research and come to your own conclusion.
That concludes this week's episode. I want to thank my guest, Lonnie Williams III. Thank you for listening.